Alrighty, so today we need to talk about Memorial Dragon Stones. Now, in this video specifically, I want to focus on what you should be doing with them depending on the number that you received during the 2025 sort of calendar year, whenever the calculation period was. This may be in the news. It probably is. It's so if we like go into here, right? Do they just tell you when the calculation period was? Not off of this announcement. Yeah, here it is. So from August of 2024, aka the Worldwide Download Celebration, all the way up until the end of the beginning of TDC, basically, was the calculation period for the Memorial Dragon Stones. Now, I would imagine most players were getting a little bit over 100 of these. I would think that would be around the appropriate number for them. And in this video, I aim to tell you what to do with them. Now, again, I'm going to be going over multiple situations, and I'm also going to be telling you what I think is the best course of action. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, you can see your boy already used them, but that is okay because we are going to be able to go over the kind of core policy that we should be going over for these in specific. Now, this is all going to come down to a per player basis, and my cord's unplugging, but a per player basis on how many stones you received during the calculation period. Now, if you were somebody who received under 200, then I would probably just ignore this section here up the top with summonable LRs. I think that you're probably better off not purchasing a summonable LR with these. However, if you are an endgame player who received over 200 of these and you are missing a yellow coin LR, this is a good time for you to potentially pick one up. This is what I did over on my main JP account because I did not have this copy of Ginyu, the Ginyu Force here, right? So what I, instead of grabbing the tickets, I went ahead and got the Captain Ginyu here just to ensure that I was receiving an LR I was missing. Now, can you pull him potentially on the banner? Yes, but if you are just looking for a surefire, I'm missing this character, I want a copy of this character, then I would recommend doing that. Now, when it comes to who you should be picking up with this, it's all going to come down to the player, right? Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on the lens that you look at, right? Basically, all of these characters on this list here for me are either on the main account are at least 79 to 100%, except for the androids. They're 55% for some reason. But most of the characters here are going to have dupes in them. So it just eliminates the requirement for me to really be picking these guys up. And especially with how LRs really dominate Dokkan these days, I would probably say that these TURs are worth avoiding. Now, if you're somebody that cares about World Tournament, a surefire pickup here should be Majunior. I think that this, especially if you care about making World Tournament easy, I think this is an extremely valuable pickup, right? He is not featured on banners often these days. I would have to look and see the last banner he was featured on. I'll pull that up while I'm talking to you. But he is like a really good choice if you were looking for somebody who's going to help you dominate in the World Tournament. So we'll just go down the list, right? Specifically, Cell Max, I would say you can probably avoid movie bosses and super bosses, right? I just don't think he's really aged the best, unfortunately. When he came out, he was like a top 3 unit in the game, but he's definitely aged out. AGL Ultimate Gohan here is also the same case where he was okay when he came out, but he's extremely limited to the Majin Buu Saga team, and Buu Saga right now isn't really much of a team these days. Like, it's okay, but it's not something you're really bringing into like endgame content to absolutely shred it. So I would probably stay away from this Ultimate Gohan. Now, I always pull up DB Saga, and I know he's not on DB Saga. I'm doing this on the side, but if we look here on the next one, we've got Captain Ginyu. Now, again, you heard me say earlier in the video, I picked up Captain Ginyu, but I am in not a unique situation, but a situation where my account is a lot further along and I don't need any of these TURs, and I'm only missing about like 5 LRs in the game right now, and this was one of those 5 LRs. So for me, this was an easy pick. Just to make sure that I go ahead and get a copy of this character. But I would not recommend individually unless you are in the exact same situation where you're like, this is the only character I'm missing. Then I would just avoid this character, right? Like, you don't need to pick him up. So Majunior, the last featured banner he was on was the blue Kaioken Goku banner, and then the one before that was the Daima Goku banner. So he's appearing every few months or so, but as the older he gets, the less frequently he's going to be appearing on banners. So if you are somebody that wants to just guarantee that you're good for the World Tournament, I think Majunior is a hell of a pickup. When it comes to Tree of Might Goku, I'd probably stay away. Bulma, I would stay away. Super Buu, again, he has an okay AoE, but he's not good for World Tournament compared to Mid Junior. Fusion Zamasu was all right, but he was just featured on a banner recently. So if you summoned on the Carnival Rose Goku Black banner, there is a semi-decent chance that you may have pulled this character, and I would probably just stay away. And it's going to be the same thing for God Goku and Hit. I don't think they're good enough to really warrant it. The Namek EZAs are also a stay away. Janemba's all right, but again, stay away. Tech Gogeta was also recently featured on the GDC banner, so you probably pulled a copy of him, and if you didn't, that's okay. You're not missing out on too much. They're a fun character animation-wise, but kit-wise, they don't really apply as well in practice. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I would say, is a skip as well. His EZA is good, but again, it's just... You can pull him on any Carnival banner, and you're going to be summoning more than likely on the Part 2 banner. That's probably going to be a Carnival as well, so just keep that in mind. Vegeta, easy skip as well. Now we get into the TURs. And again, most of these are going to be skips, but when it comes to application, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I think, is a good pick. And then this Majin Buu in specific is also going to be a good pick, assuming that you have the 150 price tag. Roshi, Rose, Topo, Vegeta, Frieza, all of these characters here, these are 1000% easy skips, except for Junior if you're looking to play World Tournament. Now, all of these guys down here, you could probably stay away from. And if you're somebody who is struggling in the newer content, like the GDC level content, I also think this Yamcha may be worth a pickup. For his EZA and his dodge chance, this is actually like one of the best characters in the game for the new GDC content fight against like Trunks, against Gohan. This is like one of the best TURs in the game. So if you don't want to take your chance on the tickets, then you could potentially pick him up as well. And that is always a good thing. When it comes to some of these other guys, right? Bardock, the Gammas, Pat the Power Kid Goku. What you could do in theory, if you wanted to, this is always a good course of action, right? Let's see if these guys EZA, and if they're cracked, wait for them to EZA and then potentially pick them up. I think that is always a good idea. And with the coin conversion fiasco that happened at the end of GDC, there's also a Memorial Stone bug on JP. So clearly bugs are not like a thing of the past. It might not be a bad idea. I'm sorry it took me this long to mention. I really just forgot. You probably should wait until we know everything that we're going to be getting during the celebration. Because if we get a blue Goku and Vegeta from ROF EZA and they're like the best TUR in the game, then you could potentially pick them up for free and not have to summon on a banner to obtain them. Then when it comes to these guys, you know, Chadits, we make the jokes, probably don't pick him up. You know, Kid Buu, all these characters. If you want the tech androids for the Omega team, I don't think that's a horrible idea. Because of how well they're designed. If you're looking for a good Festival of Battles character, I don't think Kale and Caulifla are a horrible option. This guy has potential. This AGL Kid Gohan for an EZA in the future, and he could also be really good. This Trunks and Goten EZA is just okay, and the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta EZA is pretty good as well. But we need to talk about something else, and that is going to be the tickets. Now, when it comes to the tickets, if you don't have a price, like if you're not up to the 150, you're at 130, you're at 140, then what you want to do is go over here to the ticket banner. Now, if we go look at these tickets, there are basically everybody that's featured on that list is going to be featured on this banner. So if you're somebody that wants to take a chance and not get a surefire, guaranteed thing that you know is going to be good, like you don't care about Yamcha, you already have Junior, then I don't think it's a bad idea whatsoever to just go ahead and do your ticket multis on this. But if you do have the guaranteed tickets for like your specific situation, then I don't think that's a bad idea than just to go ahead and say, hey, you know, I've got the amount of stones to pick up a character. Let me just grab who I want rather than playing this game of cat and mouse with the banner where you could potentially just get this PyCon like 12 times. Right. So don't say I didn't tell you that. But again, when it comes to these tickets, right, you have a chance to make out like a bandit. You could pull everything that you want, but you could also pull nothing. Right. That's just the nature of these tickets. So I would say, like with these, they, in my opinion, did not really handle them the best this year because they took away the main allure of how these used to work in the past. And if you guys don't know, the way these used to work in the past is they'd be heavily favored towards picking up like older units that you didn't have, like older Dokkan Fest and stuff like that. And they've completely taken that away from us. The oldest Dokkan Fest on this is from 2020, and technically it's a character who easy from 2025, and we no longer are able to do that. So it's a bit frustrating that characters that players usually don't have access to on banners are completely gone, and this was a really good way for newer players to get access to super EZAs without having to do it via the redstone, or via the redstone. I don't know why I said it like that, but with the redstone, right? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where to get this. I think you purchase it, but you know, with like the trade for that is like you have like these many characters to pick up, right? So like you still have options for free characters with the Memorial Dragonstone. So do keep that in mind. But overall, right now, kind of a TLDR to sum this video up. If you have over 200 and you're missing an LR and you're like an endgame player, I don't think this is a bad choice. If you want to get a really good character for modern content, I think Fat Boo, Super Saiyan 3 Goku's an all right option, and then Yamcha is also very good. But if you want to just go ahead and do the tickets and leave it up to that, I don't think that's a bad idea. If you're okay with being patient, I would wait and see if this guy gets an EZA and then potentially pick him up later. So that's what I'm recommending for you right now. This could potentially change in the future. Maybe I'll update this video during the campaign. This one is nowhere near as long as GDC, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's go ahead and shout out some members. Okay, so last night we had some gifted members in the stream, and I am extremely grateful to Radokun and Preston Kitty for gifting some members. I appreciate it greatly. If you guys want to become members yourselves, maybe stop by a live stream, someone will gift it to you. It's definitely possible. And, you know, I would always love to see you over there. You could join with the link in the description. This will give you exclusive access to early access to Zero to Hero episodes, a special unique badge next to your name, emojis in the chat, an exclusive role in the Discord, as well as all these other fun little perks that we have as well here. Just a fun little extra way to support the channel, and I always appreciate it. It is by no means required. But here we have some new members to shout out. So thank you to, not my current level, we want to get rid of that, Malcolm, Driftix, God, Boruto Savages, I'm reading Boruto right now, Junior, Sean C, Blue Sun, Preston Kitty, Tekka, Chunkster, Soldier 91, Yay, Wesley, Cosmo, Darth Anguish, Van, Brian V, and Radokun. So again, thank you to all of my channel members. I appreciate you guys greatly. Thank you guys for watching this one. If you did, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one.